Hi there, and thank you for downloading this LinkedIn profile training. My name's Judy Parsons. I'm known as the LinkedIn Lady. And a lot of the people that I come across, biggest challenge is actually what do you put on your LinkedIn profile. So this video is designed to get your creative juices flowing, to give you some tips as to what you really need to be saying on LinkedIn. So I just want to start by looking at actually what is LinkedIn. And I think it's good to think of LinkedIn in these sorts of ways because it helps kind of formulate your mind. So you probably spend a lot of time and effort on your website getting the messaging and the branding right. And yet LinkedIn, here it is, it's another website for your business. So you want to apply the same principles that you have on your website to your LinkedIn profile. So it shouldn't matter whether somebody goes to your website or your LinkedIn profile, it should be consistent and congruent. So think of LinkedIn as another website for your business. Think of it also as your professional brand online. What is it you want people to think and feel and know about you? So that's, what impression do you want to make on LinkedIn? And the thing is, LinkedIn is not. It's not about you. Now, I know that's surprising because it is your LinkedIn profile, but it's not about you. So if it's not about you, it's about your ideal client. And importantly, what's in it for them. So they're not interested particularly in you. They want to know what you can do for them. They want to know the benefits of working with you. So it's really a bit of a mind shift here. So your LinkedIn profile, we don't want to be talking about you necessarily. You want to be talking about how you help your ideal clients and what's in it for them. And stories are great for using on LinkedIn. Any sort of testimonials and things that you've got that demonstrate how you've helped and resolved your clients' challenges. So the thing is, if we want to avoid what I call CV style profiles, so these ones, and of course, unless you're looking for a job, then maybe you want one, but we're looking at LinkedIn here for business development. So, it's not about what you can do, and it's about avoiding using too many times of using the word I and my and me. Instead, we want to sort of create a conversation on LinkedIn, and we want to avoid those selfie style profiles. This I find a lot more on salespeople's kind of profiles where they talk about how good they are at achieving targets. But that is of no interest to their ideal clients. They don't want to know how well they're going to be closed down by somebody. They want to know how they're going to be helped. So we want to think about creating conversations on LinkedIn. Now, the other thing about LinkedIn is that it's the closest thing to face-to-face networking you're going to get. So what we want to do is use our profile to create a conversation. So we want to talk about you and your rather than I, me, and my. So how do we go about creating a client-focused profile? First of all, you need to know who it is you help, how do you help them, and highlight the benefits. So it's really clear about what's in it for them. And when it comes to knowing what to put in your profile, you really do need to know and understand your audience. And I highly recommend that you probably stop this video after we've gone through this slide to spend some time on really digging deep on here, because it is this information that will give you the content that you will write in your LinkedIn profile. So knowing your audience starts with who are they? So, are they in any particular industry sectors? What job titles are they? Do you work in any particular locations? Are you local or national? And what are their pains and challenges? What keeps them awake at night? Really dig deep here. Think about your best client. What were the trigger points for them? What were they saying to you when they came to you with their problems? What kind of things did they keep on saying to you as you worked through them with them? Really sort of highlight what is it, those challenges that they've got that is likely to keep them awake at night. And then look at what words are they using. So there's two kind of words here. The words that they would use to try and find the solutions to the problems that they've got, and also the words that you want to be found for. Then these words you want to use throughout your profile, so including your headline, your summary, experience, and skills and expertise. So we'll go through that in a little bit more time. But as I say, it's probably a really good idea now to pause this and actually think about these three things. Who are they? What's keeping them awake at night? And what words are they going to be using to search on Google or LinkedIn to find solutions or people who can help them to provide solutions to their problems? So once you've done that, what we're going to do then is look at how we put that all together to create a client-focused LinkedIn profile. And the first section that we come to on our LinkedIn profile is what's called the header section. Now that includes at the top your header banner, which you can brand, and I highly recommend that you do brand it. LinkedIn has a standard default header section which is sort of blue with some little white lines on, which is a little bit boring. So we can actually upload our own header or header image. Obviously then we've got our photo. You want a good professional photo of you. And then underneath that you've got your name, and then you've got your headline, which is 120 characters, elevator pitch. And then underneath there you've got the first 2 lines of your summary. So this has changed recently in LinkedIn. This layout is completely different. So you get the first 2 lines of your LinkedIn summary before somebody has to click on see more. So as I mentioned, you've got a header banner, and I'd highly recommend that you do create one if you haven't got one already. And I use something called canva.com, which is great. The actual sizes here, and you can actually put those as custom sizes in canva.com, and then you can upload images and drop them into it, so you can create a really nice header banner for yourself. Just be aware, of course, that your profile image, that circle, is in the middle. So you just want to make sure that you've got nothing that, you know, your profile image here doesn't obscure anything behind it. So of course I don't need to really say this much anymore because I think people are getting the message, but your profile image should be a good professional headshot of just you smiling, looking approachable, looking like the type of person somebody wants to do business with. So there's no selfies, there's no nights out, there's no partners, there's no kids, there's no hiding behind logos or running away on fast motorbikes. Just good professional images, and I highly recommend it's a really good investment to get a professionally done photo. I had one done for £40 and I use it everywhere, so I highly recommend getting one professionally done. But if not, you know, you can get a really good picture these days from your mobile phone, so you know that would be better than anything. But make sure it's quite a good close-up shot of you, and remember to smile. So now I'm going to move on to the headline. So as I mentioned, the headline is what appears under your name on the header section. And your headline is your elevator pitch. It's what is it that you do, who do you help, and how do you help them? So it needs to be attention grabbing. When somebody comes to your LinkedIn profile, what you want them to do is to stay on your profile. But you don't want them to go away. You want to encourage curiosity and engagement and get them to stay and read more about you and how you can help. So having your job title and company name as your headline isn't going to do that. That's more about you. That doesn't focus on them. So as I say, what you need to do is make it compelling. What do you do? Who do you help? And how do you help? Those benefits, you know, do you help them save time, save money, you know, make more sales, that kind of thing. We want to think keywords here. So the fact that you might be an owner or a managing director or, you know, a founder of your business, that's the only people potentially looking for that are going to be recruitment agencies. You need to be using your keywords. So what are you? What is it that you do? And you have 120 characters, approximately 84 if you want to keep them on one line now. And, you know, this is quite challenging to say all this in such a short sentence. So you may want to play with it over time, keep testing and tweaking. I do that all the time. I'm constantly testing and tweaking my headline. I also use first letter capital. Now, you don't have to, but I find that it's easier to read because people obviously are reading from a screen. So that just helps people to really get what it is that you're saying quickly and easily. So let's just have a look at some examples. We've got Simon here. So looking at this, he's got a really poor photo. He's managing director at Virgo UK. We don't really know anything more about him, what he does or how he helps. So we then change that. We've got a much better photograph. And you can see now we've taken away the fact that he's managing director. Yes, he's a managing director, but actually what's more important is that ergonomic seating, because that's a key word. That's what he does. So he's an ergonomic seating specialist, and he provides, how he helps is provide free of charge DSE workplace assessments. Again, DSE workplace assessments, keyword for Simon. And to UK businesses. Obviously, that's a kind of very broad, but, you know, as I say, it is quite a challenge getting all of this into 120 characters. But already, just changing the headline to focus on what he does and how he helps and include those keywords makes it much more compelling than what it was before. So the next section is the summary section that people are going to come to. And here you've got 2,000 characters, including spaces. And as I mentioned before, the intro summary, that's visible in the header, is approximately 220 characters before you have to click on See More to see the rest of the summary. So that leaves you with approximately 780 characters there. So if we just look at the intro summary, first of all, I call it an intro summary. It's not a LinkedIn term, it's just what I call it. It's those first 2 lines of your summary. And because that's what you see on the header section underneath your headline, I use those 2 lines to augment my headline, to encourage people to stay on my profile, to create curiosity, to either to get them to click on See More or to scroll down to my current role. And I also include a call to action on there. So if you wish, you can add a telephone number, but if not, at least a website or a website or an email address, because only first degree connections can see your contact details. And if somebody comes to your profile and they're a second degree or a third degree, they're not going to see those details. Then the rest of your summary is, to me, is about your story. So how is it you're doing what you're doing? How did you get there? You know, it's great to add a bit of personality in there as well, and position your expertise. Why should they work with you? And I still think we still need to be talking about your ideal clients and the challenges they have, but it's more from an area of sort of building your credibility. So the next key, for me, the next key section is the current role. So if somebody only reads the first 2 lines of your summary, that's in your header section, and then scrolls down rather than clicking See More, what they're going to come to is your current role. So this has now become a lot more important, I feel, in your LinkedIn profile. And in here, you've got 100 characters for your job title. So that's quite a lot, bearing in mind that there's 120 characters for your headline. And then you've got another 2,000 characters for the description. And this is really where we want to sort of get in deep and talk about our clients' challenges. We want them to come to our profile, read our profile and go, yes, this person can help me. This person understands me. We want them to go, we want them to take some action. We want them to be nodding their heads. We want them to either connect with us or email us or ring us or take some form of action to actually want to work with us. So in here as well, we need to talk a little bit about how we do what we do as well. So what are your products and services? And tell stories. They say facts tell, stories sell. So sometimes, you know, just saying you're great is one thing, but why don't you let your clients say how great you are? You know, maybe you've got some recommendations or testimonials. You could take words or sentences out of those and put those in your profile. I'm going to show you an example in a little bit so you'll see what I mean. And again, I always include a call to action. So tell people where they can get more information. So should they go to your website? Can they email you? What is it you want people to do? And, you know, that's the same as your website. You need a call to action on your website. You need a call to action on your LinkedIn profile. So here's an example of a current role. So let's just start at the top here where it says cost management consultant and then saving money on supplier contracts. That's the job title. So it's not MD, it's not owner, it's not founder, cost management consultant, keywords, and how they help saving money on supplier contracts. 100 characters there, so we can make it, you know, a little bit more interesting and expand on what it is that we do. Underneath then, it starts completely with talking about the client's challenges. And asking questions are really good because depending on how they answer, they may or may not be an ideal client. So in this case, the first bullet here, it says, when it comes to your business costs, do you actually know what you're paying for? If the person goes yes, well, then they're not an ideal client. But if they go no, I don't. Actually, and I don't know about that either, or about this, they will carry on reading. It's demonstrating that you understand how the challenges that they've got and how they can impact them. So as I mentioned before, sort of facts tell, stories sell. Saying you're great is one thing, but actually demonstrating that is another. So here, using sort of statistics and saying how you've actually helped your clients out of their challenges is really, really good. So we've just got 3 examples here, 3 bullets. So, you know, they saved 70% of a charity's telecom bills. They made sure that another organisation wasn't, you know, going to get fined. So, you know, really, really good to sort of use those kind of statistics, just like one-liners that say how you've helped. We've then got a little bit on how we help. So those are the services that this particular company offers. And then underneath there, we've got the call to action. So, you know, if you're looking for best quality and value for money, go to this email or go to the company website. So when it comes to adding content, whether it's your summary or your current role, what you want to do is make it easy to read, because people are going to be on LinkedIn, you know, they're reading it from a screen, either from their phone or from the desktop. So make it easy to read, make it easy to scan. Use short paragraphs and bullets to break up text. Remember to include your keywords in your headline, your summary, your job title, and your skills and expertise further down your profile. And remember to keep it focused on your target audience. Why do you do what you do? What do you offer? And what are the benefits of working with you? And remember that call to action. When it comes to your past experience, write these out, but only highlight ones that would be valuable to an existing client. We don't need to have every single job you've ever had unless it's relevant. And then LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to upload images and case studies and presentations, websites, videos to under your summary and your current role. And I highly recommend that you do that and you think about sort of things that you would like to really highlight under those sections. And of course, once you've had a go and have a stab at it, get feedback. Ask people that you know, maybe warm clients, suppliers, partners, that sort of thing. Get them to give you feedback on your LinkedIn profile. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can change LinkedIn in an instant. Whatever you get up there will be better than having a CV style profile. I always say don't write in third person. I mentioned before, LinkedIn is the closest thing to face-to-face networking. So I have yet to meet anyone who ever stands up and talks about themselves in a third person at a networking event. So avoid doing it on LinkedIn. Remember to add your contact details. I know I said only first degree connections can see this information, but you still need to add it. You need at least an email address. You can add a telephone number and your office address if you have one. And you can add links to your websites. Now these can be different websites or they can be different pages on the same website. And of course, don't add personal information. We don't need to know your date of birth or your marital status. So those are my tips to help you get something on your LinkedIn profile that is focused on your ideal client. I really hope you enjoyed this and you found it useful and you've given some food for thought. I would be delighted if you would connect with me on LinkedIn, and if you've got any questions, either email me via LinkedIn or at judy@judithparsons.com. And thank you very much indeed for downloading this training.